Yeah, as they say, this ain't your mama's Dracula. This is this is a new version of it, but it's also a throwback again to old school filmmaking. Not necessarily that film, but it's the monster. You know, it's the thing of he's intelligent but he's also really scary, you know, and I think we've gotten used to a lot of vampire stories being very suave and sleek and sexy, and this version of Dracula is not that. He's scary and in your face, and it makes you uncomfortable in a really interesting way. Yeah, he's incredible. Javier Botet is insanely talented. I mean, he's a legend, right? Like he's done so many different roles and in that in the monster universe, I guess, and he just brings another level of skill to it that I think is hard to emulate. Like he just gets it. Javier's like, and he's also just funny, man. Like the other good part of shooting in Malta is we got to like go, you know, actually get on a boat and go out to sea and go have fun and stuff like that. And I just remember like seeing him offset is so different than being on set with him. 'Cause he's just such a fun guy to be around, cool, and we just had a great time. It was like camp almost, making this unique, you know, thriller. Well, it was weird because when between action and cut, it's scary as hell, and then he called cut, and then he's trying to mumble something, but you can't understand it because his mask is blocking him, and he's trying to stuff food through his mask, and he has the eye holes cut out. But it's like, oh man, it was weird and scary. But again, between action and cut, he has this like physical nature of Dracula, that whole physical language. Even in the trailer, there's this moment where you see Dracula crawling above little Toby. And that was how I remember watching that scene that day and watching him do that and being like, oh, that's gonna make the trailer. Or like that is incredible. Like it's what nightmares are made of, you know? Andre's vision was one of the main reasons I got on board. We had a long Zoom call and met, and then I just wanted to be a part of whatever his vision was, because I had seen his other films. I remember with Troll Hunter and Autobiography of Jane Doe, and I just knew that he was the person to actually bring this to life. And I think he did it just incredibly well, managing the challenges of trying to make a film like this and the pressure of trying to make a film like this. But all we had to do was trust him, and all he had to do was trust us to do our jobs. And you have to trust the creative. He got the right creative people around to make these incredible sets, and like, you know, the throwback to it all, and you know, his mentor is Guillermo del Toro, and like, so you know, he comes from that as well, and it was really cool. It was just really cool, fun, and also very challenging, because like, I like doing stunts, but if I have a stunt double, I'm gonna let him do his job. I'm gonna let him do his job. But a lot of it had to again be practical. Like Andre needed the camera right in your face once you land from getting thrown by Dracula or whatever that was. And it was cool because, especially the ending sequence, like there was a lot of just really digging to figure out what would actually happen. How do you actually make this work, given the environment, given what's actually happening right now versus what might have been envisioned in a script or whatever. But everything really matched mostly his vision, it was just about executing it. But I tell you, those stunts and all of that stuff was a pleasure to shoot, but it was also crazy. The water and like just being in the water. I remember at one point, Andre, I don't swim, so like we put buoys under my costume, and I'm sitting there acting, trying to like, we had just jumped off the boat into the waves and everything. I'm sitting there acting, and like the buoys, you could just see the buoys like slip out from under my clothes, and like Oh man, that was just the funniest thing. The crew's just laughing. I'm sitting there acting, trying to, and they're like, "We can't use any of that because all of your lifeguard stuff is just flying out of you." It was too funny. But yeah, it was a joy to shoot those sequences. With just reverence and respect for my cast, I just want to just shout them out because this is one of the best ensemble international casts I've worked with. And they're all incredible. I mean, you're talking about Emmy winners, and Olivier winners, and all sorts of like just theater actors as well. Just great and good people. Like we actually hung out on set and off set, and just had a good time. And I thank them because it's not an easy movie to get through. Because a lot of challenges and it's very dark, but offset we were able to, keep it fun. And so I just look back with fondness on them because they make this movie. It's a character piece, and so without a cast like this, you would be, we wouldn't have gotten as far as we did.